Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. This is the Ibfp's top 10 heavyweights right now. So let's just dig right into it because, a lot of speculation is always made about the heavyweight division, who's the best. And this doesn't mean we have these guys as the best fighter or the guys that will ultimately win every fight. This is basically just a list to show you who's the best heavyweights right now based on resume, what they've accomplished, the world titles that they have. So this is a top 10 list based on skill set, resume, the total package of who the fighter is, not just being able to do one thing or another. And it's a completely unbiased list. The number one on our list for the top heavyweight has to be Anthony Joshua. He has pretty much all of the belts except for one. He's an undefeated world champion. And he's basically unified the majority of the division. He's beaten undefeated Joseph Parker, who's a world champion. He's beaten Alexander Povetkin, Vladimir Klitschko. Regardless of how you see those wins and at what stage you think these guys are, these are still top elite level names to have on your resume. He's also beaten a Dillian White, who you have to rate highly, who's went out and improved a lot. And so you have to give Anthony Joshua the credit for being able to get those wins, unify those belts, and stay undefeated. So Anthony Joshua would be number one. Number two on our list in our pound for pound top heavyweights would be Tyson Too Fast Fury. I believe Tyson Fury came back after that long layoff and dominated Deonta Wilder. He was robbed of the decision. He completely went in there and won every single round, in my opinion. It wasn't even close, except for the two knockdowns. And two knockdowns is not enough to win a fight if you win every round. Let's be honest and unbiased. Tyson Fury has done enough. He's number two on our list, and he'll catapult to number one if he could beat Anthony Joshua, or even a Dillian White or someone else, another top five opponent. Tyson Fury has shown a lot, but Anthony Joshua has to be the goal, and unifying titles has to be the goal of any heavyweight. Number three on our list is Dillian White. The reason why I have Dillian White at number three is because I believe that Dillian White has a better resume than Deonta Wilder to this point. If we're being honest and unbiased, he beat Joseph Parker, and he was the first guy to knock him down. That's a big accomplishment for a guy who's been renowned for a steel chin. He's come back and beat Derek Chisora, who a lot of people didn't give him credit for the first time. He's proven that he can come out and win. He's beaten a Lucas Brown and taken his O. He's shown that he's no joke in the heavyweight division. He is the mandatory for so long for Deontay Wilder, and then they gave it to Dominic Brazil. So I feel like Dillian White has never been given the credit he deserves. He's a good boxer, and he has an elite level power, whether you want to believe it or not. He's very and massively underrated, and I would love to see Dillian White get a shot at Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua. Again, I believe those will be two very difficult fights for Wilder and Joshua, because I think that Dillian White is underrated. He's a top level fighter, and he would be number three on our list. Number four on our list would be Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. He's made so many successful title defenses. He has elite knockout power. And regardless of how I see it, Deontay Wilder did get the draw, even though I feel like, he robbed Tyson Fury. He did get the draw, and so I'm going to be unbiased, and I'm going to give him his credit and still put him in the top five. He's number four on our list as of our top heavyweights. Deontay Wilder has elite punching power in that right hand, but pretty much nothing else. And so the next fight that Deontay Wilder has, if it's not against Fury or Joshua, I don't see him moving up on that list, or Dillian White. Unless it's one of the top three guys, Joshua, Fury, or White, I don't see him moving up on that list for the simple fact that it's just going to be a much, much lesser opponent. Number five on our list is Luis King Kong Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is a very talented and technically sound fighter. And so I like Luis Ortiz. I think he's very good, but he has not accomplished much on his resume. If you look at his resume, it's missing signature wins. It's missing an undefeated world champion. It's missing a world champion at all. And so he's lost and got stopped by Deontay Wilder, gassed out. So I have to be unbiased. As highly as I think of Luis Ortiz, I just don't believe he's at the top level with all those other guys, such as a Dillian White and Anthony Joshua and a Tyson Fury. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me and think Luis Ortiz is up there, and that's perfectly fine. You can have him in the top three. I can respect that. I'm not going to diss anyone for thinking Luis Ortiz is top three. Don't get me wrong. I just don't believe he is. I don't believe he has a signature win to put him up there. And when he did step up against Wilder, he got stopped. Yes, he gave Wilder a hell in that fight, and some people felt like he was robbed and was hit in the back of the head, or they gave Wilder, time to recover. I understand all of those things, but at the same time, he didn't get the job done. There's been no rematch. I can't give Luis Ortiz that credit without a signature name. He needs to beat one of the guys in the top 10 on this list for me to say, hey, Luis Ortiz needs to be in the top 3. Or he needs to win the world title, because he's never been a world champion. But number 6 on our list is Adam Kownacki. Adam Kownacki is undefeated. He's a very talented fighter, and I think that he can compete with anybody in the top 5. I don't know if he could beat anybody in the top 5, but I think he could compete with anybody in the top 5. Number 7 is Dominic Breazeale. His only loss came to an Anthony Joshua. Other than that, he's shown dramatic improvements in all of his fights. He's very hungry and ready to go get it. And so I think that Dominic Breazeale would cause Deonta Wilder some problems, but I'm not sure he could beat Deonta Wilder because he doesn't move his head enough, and he may get hit and stopped. There is speculation that he could face Deonta Wilder next, so we'll see how that plays out. Kubrat Pulev, he's a dangerous guy, and he's a very strong and powerful guy, and a lot of guys don't want to fight Kubrat Pulev. I mean, if you look at Jarrell Miller, he had an opportunity to fight him, and he didn't step up to the plate. So that says a lot about Kubrat Pulev and how difficult a fighter he is. Number 9 on our list is Joseph Parker. I think Joseph Parker just came back with a dominant win, and so now he's looking refreshed and ready for the second phase of his career as far as trying to get back on the win streak and getting another crack at a world champion and a world title shot or another big fight. I think Joseph Parker can easily compete with anybody in the top 3. All he has to do is just beat a big name or get a signature win or beat someone on this top 10 list, and I think Joseph Parker is back right there in contention. Alexander Povetkin, a lot of people talk about Alexander Povetkin, says he's old, says he's not good. A lot of people don't realize Povetkin stopped Luis Ortiz in the amateurs. A lot of people don't realize that Alexander Povetkin is a very, very difficult opponent, very strong, has elite level power, and I think that he could give anyone hell on the top 10 in this list and maybe even stop anyone on the top 10 of this list. So I respect Alexander Povetkin and what he's done, but that's the top 10 heavyweights, unbiased. As always, please share your comments and everything. I would love to see them. And what's your top 10? Who do you have ranked? Who's your top 3? Because I know that's probably going to be the most controversy. Once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.